Good evening, friends, followers, channel members. Friday night, bonfire night here in the UK, for those of you who are also UK residents. Danny, I can already see that you have commented on the beautiful, calm and relaxing music. There's a good reason for that. Obviously, bonfire night means that the entire UK is just populated with fireworks, and quite why neighbours decide around us to have atom bombs going off just means that my poor first officer George, I'm sure you're going to hear him at some point during the stream tonight, because he's just barking away like a loony. He doesn't get scared by them, but he just gets excited, and well, God knows if any of the kids are actually going to go to sleep tonight. But honestly, it sounds like someone outside is breaking the door down there that loud. Anyway, that's my my little rant over with. First fair, I actually love bonfire night. I think it's great, but not when it's right next door and they've got fireworks the size of cannonballs going off. Anyway, good evening. Dr. Magic, sounds like they're trying to shoot us down. Honestly, mate, it does. Straight out. I don't know if you guys can hear it, or whether you can hear poor First Officer George having doing his nut. God bless him. But good evening to each and every one of you. Hello to the Easyjet and Pilot channel members as well. Thanks for you guys coming on board and your continued support. Dr. Magic, Landolex, good to see you guys. We've also got Dark Fury here as well. And Nicholas Reese, you're on your way to Frankfurt. Great stuff. And also good evening to Danny, Vibrant Hawk, Near W, Owen, Terry. Great to have you on board with us this evening. Driddy and Herfred as well is also there. DC Gert, hello, and LG Lambs, Transport Gamer, also with us this evening. So as you can see, once again, as per usual, we've not got live time set in the simulator. We've got a nice dawn flight set up for us today. So we're going to go ahead and start getting ourselves prepared, etc. We are at Milan, and oops, there we go. We are at Milan, and we also have ATC online. Milan Ground is online. They've already sent me a ping actually telling me to contact them. Like, whoa, hold your horses. I'm not even on board yet, but I will obviously be chatting to them in a little while. The operational flight plan is pinned in the chat on YouTube, so you can go ahead, download that, and have a little look. I've already scooted through it to see what's en route for us today. Some nasty weather over Mallorca, and even the winds are picking up in Ibiza, which is our destination today as well. Dr. Magic, you've been a member for 7 months. Why? You've just noticed you got another stripe. Thank you so much, Dr. Magic, for your long-term support. Really, really kind of you. Thank you for that. Bala Jurassic, hello from Perth, Australia. Hello. And Danny, you like the City Stars into Limp because of the terrain. Well, the star into Milan is sort of can you guys hear that? Seriously. It's just calmed down. Oh, there we go. Yeah, every time I talk it comes in. I don't know if you guys can hear the fireworks, but oh my word. Flying over the UK tonight and tomorrow night, if you happen to be doing it in real life, looks absolutely amazing. It's just like the sky is lit up all around. Sounds fantastic. No, looks fantastic. Sounds awful. If ever they can come up with silent fireworks, even better. Right, let's get on board. Yeah, the stars into Milan are just take you completely around the houses. You never fly that full star, even pre-COVID, when everything was very, very busy. So let's just check. Obviously, we're in a bit of a turnaround state. We've got everything turned on, with the exception, of course, of fuel pumps and the pack. So we're going to get that APU started. We'll go 1, 2, 3. Get that started. Yeah. So I have gone from a bit of a serene, calm music effect tonight, just to try and block out the sounds of what's going on around me. So with the APU running, let's have a look at adding some fuel to our aircraft as well. So we have got, let's in fact, I'm just checking something. Where's my Easyjet cup gone? I don't recall replacing that. Oh well, never mind. So the operational flight plan, if we actually import that in, let's try that. There we go. Operational flight plan has got plug fuel as under 6.2 tons of fuel. Well, given the weather that's coming in across the Balearics, then I'm going for 7 tons this evening. So let's go ahead and get that loaded in. And refueling is underway. APU shall be started pretty soon. There we go. Refueling panel is open. APU is available, so we'll get the APU bleed on. Just start the chrono, give that a minute, then we'll get the packs on, and then we'll start getting the passengers on board as well. Danny, is the real life flight just landed? Yeah, so again, this is another real world flight. I like doing real world flights. I think they're good. Drinning, you can't hear either George or the fireworks. Oh well, that's good. Trust me, for you guys, that's good. I've got a headset on and I can still hear them both. Keenan, you're doing a flight from JFK to Amsterdam in the A320 Neo Delta livery as you watch this. That is something I would like to do at some point. I just need the actual time to be able to go ahead and do that. So we've got current QNH here in Milan 1022. We've got anti-skid on. Let's just come down and check everything's okay. With the pedestal, we're currently on Unicom, but we're going to go over to the ground frequency pretty soon. Switching panel, thrust levers, transponder, etc. Flaps, parking brake, all set. FCU is all turned on, brightness, etc. We'll get the flight directors on. Turn the constraints on, and obviously all the screens are already turned up as well, so we're going to come down to the box and get that set up. 1 hour 37 minutes is our planned flight time today. Weights and balance page, let's just request that and check it against the operational flight plan. Not a heavy aircraft today, only a payload of 14872. Zero fuel weight of 23.1, and zero fuel weight center of gravity is 23.1, as zero fuel weight is 61.1, and that matches up nicely. So we're going to start just adding that aircraft weight. We're well over 2 minutes since the APU bleed has been running, or approaching 2 minutes should I say. So let's get pack 1 and 2 on, and that means we can now start boarding our passengers. Get you guys on board. Our cabin crew are eagerly awaiting to welcome you on for the flight this evening.
Cabin crew, we're all happy with how things are up here, so you can now open the doors and start letting our passengers on board. Thank you. No problem.
Strange, the radio panels are standard in the on position. If you start cold and dark, you presume they'd be shut down. If you start cold and dark, they are turned off. I've just not started cold and dark. I've started a turnaround state, which is why they're all already on. This is not a cold and dark setup. Now, have we got any stairs waiting for us? Yes, we do. Excellent. So that means the passengers can start getting on board if we get the stairs over here. Barwell DB, good morning from down under. Yes, good morning indeed. Obviously evening here in the UK, but a nice morning for those of you watching in Australia. Right, let's go ahead and set the box up. IRS, we've got 3 nav green, and just check the aircraft status, LEAP engines, and the new Airac cycle was released today, so there we go. Valid Airac cycle on the 4th of November to the 1st of December. That's downloaded from Simreef, of course. DC Gert, welcome to the First Officers Club. Thank you so much for your support, DC. Great to have you on board again, once again, for our stream this evening. But really do appreciate your support. That is very kind of you. Thank you so much. And make sure you join us in the Discord server as well, if you're on there. Okay. So onto the init page, and we'll get our ACARS uplink. So the alternate today, whilst Mallorca would have been an alternative given the weather that's going over Mallorca, we've actually got Valencia instead. So Lima, Echo, Victor, Charlie this evening. And our call sign today is Alpine 62 Kilo Delta. That's not a bad call sign. rolls off the tongue quite okay. Cost index of 8, flight level 370, and temperature is minus 50. I'm happy to leave that as minus 52 because the operational flight plan was created a couple of hours ago. So the tropo as well is, that's not too far off either, but we'll give that a slight update. 28,800 feet. And then onto the flight plan. So we will be departing today runway 35 left. We know that for a fact because 35 right is closed for anyone that's read the no times. That's going to be the, well, presumably it's going to be the Airac 5 Quebec. Let's get that in. And that's with a transition. I've forgotten what the transition is. I did have a quick look. Let me just double check this. That's going to be a transition to Neded. I think it is. There it is. And insert. And then at the other end, then we've got our arrival into Ibiza, which is runway 06. We'll put in 06 Zulu for now, and that is on the POS for Victor arrival. And the VIA, or the initial approach fix, is Demev. That's a distance of 614 miles on the operational flight plan. 616, 2 miles different. That's good. So let's move on to the RadNav page. Let's just have a look at our chart here, see what we can pop in. We've got the Malpensa VOR, which is Mike Popper. We'll go ahead and use that. And just quickly going back to the flight plan page, I want to add a fix, and that is NILAB. And that's for our engine out planning if anything was to go wrong on departure, but we'll brief that shortly. Onto the Init B page. How are we doing with our refueling? Refueling is almost complete. We opted for 7 tons, didn't we? So that should be about there. There we go. Refueling is now complete, and the passenger weights have also been added, so we can calculate the zero fuel weight 61.1 as expected. Zero fuel weight center of gravity is 25.4. The trip wind today is a headwind of 17, and then the fuel planning suggests 5.6 tons. Of course, we're taking more. We've got, let's call it 6.9 tons. There we go. Take-off weight of 67.8, which is spot on with the operational flight plan. Bear in mind we've loaded extra fuel, of course, and the alternate fuel required to reach our alternate, let's call that 1.2 tons. And that gives us an extra 29 minutes flying time. So if the weather does become a little bad at Ibiza, we have to go around, maybe have another attempt, we've got an extra 30 minutes or so. So that's good. OKTM, yeah, we've already mentioned ATC is online. They actually contacted me as soon as I arrived here, even before the stream started. So yeah, they're well aware we're here, and I'm well aware they are too. I've just not contacted them yet. So basically, you get everything set up, you then contact ATC, and hopefully they'll give you the clearance that you've popped in. If not, we just need to go in and change it, but that's no biggie. Onto the performance page then. Transition altitude here is 6,000 feet. And let's pop that in. We've got transition altitude, 6,000 feet. Flaps 1. It's going to be a toga takeoff today. Let's get those V speeds. So okay, I was just letting, I've remembered we're on Unicom, so that's where that traffic is. Only ground control ATC is online in Milan at the moment, so they'll be able to give us the clearance, but after that we're on our own. There's the V speeds. Let's just have a quick look at at our departure. So that first turn is a max speed of 220 knots, which means we can fly that clean at green dot. Let's just pre-select 220. There we go. Right, so with all that now put in, then let's have a quick look and check this matches what we've got. So our initial track out is, hang on, let me just move that, then you guys can see. So initial track, and then at 1200 feet, 1,200 feet, left turn, and we can see all these here. We've got 3 miles from Milan, we've got 6 miles from Milan, and then we've got the left hand turn. Let's check the rest of those. To Malpensa 292, and around to Airac. There it is. You can see Malpensa 292, that's that radial just there, and then we've got 272, that radial just here as well with the constraints. And max speed 250 knots in that turn. That's going to be fine. We're going to be in managed speed by that point. All we need to be aware of is if we do start to climb and get towards 10,000 feet, we'll just pull the speed bug to make sure we don't go any faster than 250 knots above 10,000 feet. As ordinarily in managed speed, of course, it would start to accelerate away. But that's good. That coding looks fine. The only thing I am going to have a quick look at is this initial flight. Looks like a little bit of a strange flight plan just there. So what we will do is we can set that initial heading of 340 until passing 1,200 feet. Then we can pop it into nav mode, so we know it's not going to do anything daft. Right, with that, let's switch over to the ground frequency, which is 121.9, and we'll give them a call.
You just refiled this Ryanair 600 is okay.
Lock the flight deck door so I can concentrate on ATC.
Ryanair 600 is dead for the moment. I can only see the old flight plan, so I don't know.
Okay, let me try connecting and disconnecting and reconnecting the CC out.
Roger.
Milan ground, good evening, Alpine 62 Kilo Delta Type A320 Neo, stand 109. We have information Alpha on board requesting Alpha clearance to Ibiza.
Alpine 62 Kilo Delta, your flight plan is not valid. You can correct it by deleting the first fix Airac.
We'll delete that and refile that for you, Alpine 62 Kilo Delta.
Alpine 62 Kilo Delta, if you want I can correct it for you to speed up things.
Roger, yeah, that would be great if you could for us please, Alpine 62 Kilo Delta.
Alpine 62 Kilo Delta, Roger, stand by.
Okay, not quite sure what's wrong with the initial sit there. All looks good. So let's...
Alpine 62 Kilo Delta, you are cleared to Ibiza via Airac 5 Alpha departure, needed 8 uniform transition, runway news 35 left, initial climb 5,000 feet, squawk 1,000, information Bravo, and your flight plan will start at needed, then asphalt.
Cleared by the Fanac 5 Alpha, and that is 8 Alpha, 8 uniform transition. Initial climb 5,000 feet and squawk 1,000. Information Bravo is now current. Alpine 62 Kilo Delta.
Alpine 62 Kilo Delta, readback is correct.
Right, let's go ahead and change that. So it is the Fanac 5 Alpha. And then
61 Juliet Hotel, stand by
the
for
NEDEC transition, insert. That actually looks a lot nicer, doesn't it? Let me just update the chart. Danny, that shouldn't be down to the new Airac cycle. No, not quite sure what was wrong there. Anyway, let's just open the chart list and get the correct chart on board. So it's the 5 Alpha. There we go. So that max speed now is 210 knots, so that's just changed things ever so slightly. Let's come back down to our performance page. So we're going to fly S speed instead, which is 197. There we go. And let's now check the coding of that to make sure that is all correct. So, still flying out 438 until 1,200 feet, then a left turn, 623, 624, 628, Nelab and Airac. Tonda and Neres.
Ibiza 64 standby. Ryanair 61 Juliet Hotel, your flight plan is now correct, so you are cleared
Okay,
to
all of that
Berlin
looks good.
via Irkut 5 Alpha departure, Abesi 7 X-ray.
So I've just turned ATC off and we'll do our departure brief. Okay, so we are parked stand 109. Obviously we'll get our pushback. Presumably we'll end up facing west. It'll take us down on Mike and Bravo. From Bravo, let's have a quick look on here. Bravo, I would imagine then he will either take us down via Charlie, or most likely he'll have us cross at Bravo, then come down Whiskey all the way down and probably line up here at Whiskey Bravo, unless he does take us down via Charlie, in which case he's going to bring us here onto Golf Echo. That's fine, just so we know that there's a couple of options there to us, so don't be caught out by either of those. Let's get rid of that chart, we don't need that anymore. On departure then, we'll fly heading 348 till flight level, till altitude 1,200 feet. We've already briefed the max speed. We're going to fly that in config 1 all the way to there. Let's just check. At Nelab we can then go to 220, which is still below green dot if memory serves. We can just double check that actually. Yes it is, so we can then fly at 220. I will select that manually, so we need to remember to do that after we've passed 623. So we can clean up after passing 623. We've got our initial clearance, which is 5,000 feet, and the squawk. Let's get those in there. So there's a squawk of 1,000, 5,000 feet on the FCU, and check that is now set. There we go. Let's have a quick chat about the engine out brief. So with any problems in the emergency brief. So any problems on taxi, ATC is online of course, so we'll have to just stop the aircraft, and then after that we can tell ATC that we've got a problem. If we can troubleshoot the aircraft problems there and then on the ground, that's great. If not, we'll ask for a little help from ATC and they can get us taxied back to the stand. On departure, if we have any problems or warnings before 100 knots, then I'll consider stopping, but after 100 knots up to V1 I will only stop for uninhibited ECAM warnings, cautions, engine firewall failure, and that's with or without thrust lost, or if I think the aircraft's unsafe to fly. In which case, if that happens and I make the decision to stop, I'll call stop nice and clear, go max reverse, keep the aircraft nice and straight on the runway, and use manual braking if auto brake isn't doing the job I think it should be doing. If we've had an engine fire warning, I will also attempt to point the aircraft into the wind. Once coming to a stop on the runway, set the parking brakes, stow the reversers, in the other order of course, stow the reversers and set the parking brakes, and then we can check the ECAM and any fault lights to establish the cause of why we have stopped. Once we've established the cause of the failure, we can either complete the ECAM drills and then ask ATC if we can vacate the runway, or of course if it was an engine fire or something a little bit more serious, then we'd have to consider running the evacuation checklist. If we have a failure after V1 of course, we're then committed, so we'll have to get the aircraft into the air. If we've had an engine failure though, we'll fly it using a standard technique, 12.5 degree pitch initially, using the rudder to counteract NEO and following SRS commands. Once the aircraft has got a positive rate of climb, we'll get the landing gear up and I'll trim out the yaw. I can also then get the autopilot on. We will pull the heading bug nice and early so that we don't continue on the SID that we've got programmed in. We'll confirm the failures above 400 feet. And then the non-standard engine out procedure here is at 3 miles from the Malpensa VOR, which we've now got on display down here. At 3 miles, we make a left-hand turn to the NILAB holding point, which if we have a look now, we should be able to see that's actually now also shown. And there is our entry of 267, and the hold is left turns. Once the engine's secured and we're above the single engine acceleration altitude and we've completed that first turn, we'll then push to level off, accelerate, retract flaps on schedule, and then at green dot I will go open climb and set maximum continuous thrust. Once we've entered the hold, we can decide what we're going to do: continue, return, or divert. Okay, so passengers are nearly finished getting on board, and we should be about ready to start completing our before start checks. Refueling is done. We'll get the fuel pumps on. APU is running. We can disconnect the external power. The GPU can disappear. Let's get those seatbelt signs on. And as I say, those passengers, I think, are more or less now all boarded, so we're good to start. We're good to start running the before start checklist.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board our Easyjet service. Please place your large bags into the overhead locker, wheels first, and keep your small items under the seat in front of you. These include laptops, handbags, duty-free and loose items of clothing. Once you have safely stowed your cabin bag, please take your seat. To help us ensure a prompt departure, we would kindly ask that you keep the aisle clear, enabling all remaining customers to board. Your seatbelt can now be fastened ready for departure. This is a no-smoking service. Thank you for observing this policy.
Great stuff, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of myself, the first officer, and the cabin crew, may I welcome you on board this Easyjet aircraft for your flight today. The ground crew and the fueling crew have all finished, and we're just about finished with all our cockpit preparation up here. The cabin crew are making their final checks as they work through the cabin, so if you could please get yourselves sat down comfortably with your seatbelts securely fastened and give them their full attention as they begin their safety briefing. A big welcome on board today to our Easyjet Sim Pilot members, who of course are welcome to free complimentary drinks throughout the flight. Once we reach our cruising altitude, our cabin service will commence, and the cabin crew will be able to provide you with drinks, snacks and merchandise throughout the duration of the flight. Once again, I'd like to thank you for choosing to fly with Easyjet today. We'll have an update for you when we are airborne.
Okay, all is good there. The GPU has disappeared. There it is. I've just realised as well why I've got a different cell cal plate and why I haven't got my Easyjet Sim Pilot Cup. It's because I'm actually in a default, well, I say default, I'm actually in a standard Easyjet livery for a change, rather than the channel livery. I don't mind that. A little bit different. It's still Easyjet, of course. Okay, so let's run the before start checklist to the line. So cockpit preparation is completed. Signs are on and auto. It is 3.5 green. Fuel quantity is 6960 kilograms and balanced. FMGS is set. Altimeter is 1022. And yes, you can transfer fuel from one side to the other if you so wish. Dave Webb, so glad you're here right at the start of a stream for a change. Good to have you on board. Okay, so we'll get the beacon light on, check that acupressure is in the green, and we'll turn the transponder on as well. We'll just get our pushback clearance in a sec, but let me just call the pushback tug So he can be getting into place.
Cockpit to ground.
This is ground. Stand by.
Danny, the engine out procedure is available in our Discord server in the pilot's briefing room for anybody who wants that. DC Gert, have I disappeared on VATSPy? I promise I am definitely still connected. Mikkel Jensen, good evening to you as well.
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed.
The parking brakes are set. You may
Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft. Standing by for pushback.
Okay, so he's now standing by for pushback, which is fine. We'll go back to ground and we'll tell him we're ready to go.
Ryanair 190, prova radio 565.
Ryanair. Mark Pentagram, Alpine 62 Kilo Delta, stand 109. We're ready for push and start.
Alpine 62 Kilo Delta, push and start is approved, facing west, immediate pushback.
Push start approved, facing west. Alpine 62 Kilo Delta.
cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
We are cleared for start and push. Parking brakes set.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Malpensa ground, buonasera, Ryanair 190, scende 410, information Charlie, QNH 1023, attendiamo autorizzazione IFR per Alghero.
Okay, so they cleared us for immediate pushback. Let's get those engines started. So engine mode selector to start and starting engine 1.
Corretto, quindi se lo puoi reinserire corretto sarebbe meglio.
Procediamo, Ryanair 190.
Pensa ground, ciao, Dolomiti to format Charlie, 35 left vacated on Lima, requesting position.
Good evening, Colin. Yeah, Doomball, that sounds nice. Great way to spend a Friday evening.
Dolomiti 24 Mike Charlie, approved as requested, taxi stand 601 via Papa, Kilo and Sierra.
Ask for your attention while we take you through the safety procedures.
Papa Kilo Sierra, position 601. Dolomiti to format Charlie, check.
Life jackets and brace position that you must adopt if you hear brace, brace. There are two.
Camji, it is called Toolbar Pushback available
and two at the front
from
of the cabin.
FlightSim.to.
Floor lighting will guide you to an exit. Please be aware that your nearest exit may be behind you. In an emergency, leave all cabin baggage on board. Your seatbelt is fastened, adjusted,
Starting engine
and
2.
released as shown. It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs are on, and we recommend that you keep it fastened at all times. If the air supply fails, masks will drop from above you. Pull a mask towards you to start the oxygen. Put the mask over your nose and mouth. Hold in place with the strap. Pull on each side to adjust. Put on your own mask before helping others. If we land on water, take the life jacket from under your seat. Put it over your head. Pass the tapes around your waist. Click together and pull the strap to adjust.
This is probably one of the world's worst pushbacks, to be fair.
Taxi holding point as of
Pushback completed.
If it fails to inflate or needs topping up, blow into the tube.
Parking brakes set.
There's a light and whistle for attracting attention. We also carry flotation aids for children. Your tray table must now be stowed, armrest down, window blinds open, and seatbelt fastened.
See you at the side.
We
Have
wish
a
you
good
a
flight.
pleasant flight with Easyjet.
Pushback is completed.
Thank you and goodbye.
We'll wait for the pushback to become clear. Engine number 2 is stabilised. Just start that chrono, make sure we've got 3 minutes. We will, because it's a nice long taxi down. After start flows,
Stand 111, ready for push push start.
Easy 23 Sierra Delta, push and start is approved, facing east.
Push start, please facing east, Easy 23 Sierra Delta.
Ground Ryanair 61 Juliet Hotel.
Okay, after start checklist, anti-ice, not required. Ecam status checked, pitch trims,
Ryanair
25.4,
61
rudder
Juliet Hotel,
trim,
taxi holding point,
0.
Whiskey Bravo, runway 35 left via Tango,
Flight control check.
Yankee and Zulu.
Full left,
Tango Yankee Zulu holding
full
point,
right,
Bravo, runway 35,
neutral.
Ryanair 61 Juliet Hotel.
full up, full down, correction, full up, full down, neutral rudder, full right, full left,
Alpine
neutral.
62 Kilo Delta, are you ready to taxi?
Alpine 62 Kilo Delta, roger, we're ready for taxi.
Alpine 62 Kilo Delta, taxi holding point Charlie 5 via Mike and Charlie.
Taxi holding point Charlie 5 via Mike and Charlie, Alpine 62 Kilo Delta.
Iberia 624, taxi holding point Charlie 5 via Alpha, Mike and Charlie, follow the Alpine Airbus A320.
Taxi holding point Charlie 5 via Alpha, Mike, Charlie, follow the Alpine Airbus A320.
Okay, so that is immediately straight down to the left. Taxi light on.
Position 601 closing, Dolomiti.
Parking brakes released.
Ciao Jack, grazie ancora. Ciao.
And let's just add a little bit of thrust. Get us going. Maybe a little bit more. We've got a nice long taxi down on Charlie, so plenty of time to do everything we need to with regards our checks before departure. Now we need to hold at Charlie 5. Now that is not going to be shown here in the sim, as it's not a handcrafted airport, so we're going to have to kind of just guess really where that is. Though as we're taxiing down, it's going to be just here. At which point from here he's probably going to hand us over to Unicom. As it will be out of his jurisdiction, I think.
Ryanair 61 Juliet Hotel, contact Malpensa Tower 119.0.
Ooh, towers on.
119.0, thank you very much for the service, Ryanair 61 Juliet Hotel.
Alpine 62 Kilo Delta, contact Malpensa Tower 119.0.
Over to the tower, thanks very much for the service this evening, Alpine 62 Kilo Delta, good night.
Iberia 624, contact Malpensa Tower 119.0.
Malpensa Tower, Alpine 62 Kilo Delta, holding Charlie 5.
Wind 010 degrees for runway 35 left.
Thank you, Christian.
Clear for takeoff 35 left, Ryanair 61 Juliet Hotel.
Malpensa Tower, Alpine 62 Kilo Delta, holding Charlie 5.
Alpine 62 Kilo Delta, taxi on Alpine Golf Echo runway 35 left via Charlie.
And please say again for Alpine 62 Kilo Delta, it is just a little bit quiet.
Alpine 62 Kilo Delta, taxi holding point Golf Echo runway 35 left via Charlie.
Taxi holding point Golf Echo via Charlie for runway 35 left, Alpine 62 Kilo Delta.
Delta Tower, buonasera, Iberia 624 at holding for Charlie 5.
Iberia 624 following Alpine.
Okay, so let's do our PEDS check. Performance, we've got the QNH change 1023. Thank you, Christian, for bringing that to my attention. It's still going to be a toga takeoff. Engine out procedure is non-standard. It's a left turn at 3 miles from the Mike Popper VOR. Down here, left turn to the NELAB holding point. Entry is 267 degrees, left turns in the hold. Departure matches what we have in the FMGC. It's the Fanuc 5 Alpha departure with an Aeros 8 uniform transition. Stop altitude is 5,000 feet and we've got 5,000 blue showing. Before takeoff checklist. To the line, flight controls checked, departure briefing is confirmed, flap setting config 1 is set, and FMA takeoff data 135 blue, 140 magenta, climb nav blue, 1 FD2, 5000 blue, toga, transponder set, ECAM memo, takeoff no blue, flight bag is stowed. Danny, it's a pretty easy but long taxi. Yeah, I don't mind that. It's just straight down the centre, isn't it? Which is fine. Just watch the speed creeping up ever so slightly. 25 knots is fine. Max speed is 30 knots in a straight line. So good evening to everyone who is watching. Please do hit like on the stream if you haven't done so already. It makes a huge difference to the channel, so really appreciate every single one of you that does that for me on the stream this evening.
Taxi holding point, Golf Echo runway 35 left via Charlie.
Okay, so Golf Echo runway 35 left via Charlie following the Iberian A320. Easy 2 reserve Delta.
Threats for this departure as well are the terrain as we take off. I don't know if you can see them. If we just have a quick look, you might just be able to see. Yeah, there they are, the Alps. So they're the biggest threats here, which obviously need to be aware of. Minimum safe altitude as well as 10,300 feet. That's how much of a threat they are. Christian says my briefs get faster and faster. That's not always a good thing. To be fair, one thing, well, a couple of things I haven't briefed. The weather here, which is obviously fine, so we don't have a problem. I'd be happy coming back here, given that we've got 2 huge runways, although one is closed. But yeah, 35 left, nice long runway, so happy to land here again. And we've got no problems with the weather. The aircraft as well, you all know that I'm flying the experimental version. No times to be aware of. We've already said that runway 35 right is closed, 35 left is the only one available to us, and the threats, as I've just spoke about as well, is the terrain on takeoff to the north, northwest and west of the airfield. But we're in good VMC, so that's fine. Now let's make sure we get this right. Is this the turn down here to holding point Golf Echo? I believe it is.
Cabin crew seats for takeoff, please.
Bearing 62 Kilo Delta, wind 010, 12 knots, runway 35 left, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 35 left, Alpine 62 Kilo Delta. Okay, so I'm just going to slow the aircraft down a little bit while we roll into position, and then that gives me a chance to get strobes, runway turn off lights, landing lights all turned on, get the packs off, and we also want to turn on TCAS, etc., and the transponder down here as well. Let's just do that quickly.
Iberian 624, after departing Alpine Airbus 320, runway 35 left, line up and wait after.
After departing Alpine A320, line up and wait, runway 31 left. Iberian 624.
Okay, so final check, make sure all is good there. Let's just pull that 348. Everything looks fine. It's just a last minute paranoia check. All looks good there, and until we get to in fact that actually looks coded quite nicely, so I'm going to leave that in nav mode. Right, let's go. So let's just reset the chrono and take off. Start the chrono, set 50% in 1, side stick half forward, and set takeoff thrust. And the sun is just coming up behind us. Mantoga, SRS and runway. V1, rotate. Nav, gear up. Autopilot 1 engaged.
Alpine 62 Kilo Delta, no, partner to 3 available, monitor Unicorn 1228, see you.
Over to Unicorn, thanks for the service, Alpine 62 Kilo Delta, good night. Climb thrust. No further ATC, so we'll clear ourselves higher. Let's select a nice flight level 250. Going open climb for that.
Easy 23 Sierra Delta, after departing Iberian Airbus 320, runway 35 left, line up and wait after.
After the departing Iberian A320, we'll line up point 35 left, needing 230 Delta.
So we're now passing Mike Charlie 623, that's where that max speed restriction ends. We can now set a speed of 220 knots.
Iberian 624, wind 010 degrees 4 knots, runway 35 left, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 35 left, Iberian 624.
And what we could actually do here is the flaps are now going to retract at 210 knots. There they go. And we can now fly this in config 1. Serendipity, isn't it, Christian? We were speaking about this on the Discord earlier today. And this wasn't planned, by the way. This wasn't even the departure that was planned. It's just given the opportunity to show that. HD would be proud. Okay, so let's set standard pressure as we continue the climb. Once we get past Nilab, we'll clean up and accelerate away.
For no faster ATC available, monitor Unicorn 123. See you.
Monitor Unicorn Iberia 624, grazie mille, buonanotte.
So we're just coming up to flight level 80. And the sun is coming up over Italy. Even more important, the atom bombs outside have stopped. So we've still got the flaps. Correction, we've still got the SATs. The slats are still out, but the flaps are now
whenever
away.
you are seated. Toilets are located at each end of the cabin. Remember that smoking is not permitted at any time.
Dr. Magic, I'll go over that in a second.
E-cigarettes.
We'll talk about what we did there. So we're now passing flight level 110. Lights can come off. We'll ding the cabin. Get pack 2 on as well. So yes, on takeoff at 210 knots, the flaps automatically retract when in config 1, just leaving the slats out. It is indeed automatic. And there is that turn. So now what we can do is we can go to manage speed and we can clean up. So let's go manage speed just there. Flap 0, ground spoilers disarmed. And I'm happy now to turn those seatbelt signs off.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has now turned off the seatbelt sign and you are now free to move around the cabin. We do recommend, however, when in your seat, that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times in case of unexpected turbulence. The toilets are now available. Please contact a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance. Thank you.
Michael says hello from somewhere. I have no idea where that is. Syracuse, is that right? Syracuse, New York. Hello, Michael. He says every time I watch your streams, you learn something new. Oh, thank you. That's well, that was why the channel was set up originally, was to help people with Microsoft Flight Simulator's release, to help people fly the aircraft realistically. So really glad that that's helped. We're happy to go up to our cruise altitude today, flight level 370. So let's go ahead and set that. Flight level 370. Let's get airports on the AFIS and 370 blue. There we go. We can clear up the RadNav page as well. Now we're above 10,000 feet, and we can also clear out the fixers as well. All good. Okay, so whilst we're on this climb to our cruising altitude, then let me talk about that departure. So, hang on. In order to facilitate this, let me bring this up. I'm just going to minimise this a little bit so that I can still witness what's going on here. Okay, so on departure we had a speed restriction, didn't we? Max 210 knots, which is fine. So on departure we took off in config 1, which was, I think it was something like 197, I think. So I think it was 197 knots. Now the key thing was clean speed, or green dot speed, so that's when your flaps are retracted. The slowest you could fly at clean green dot speed was, I think it was 200 and, call it, let's, for simple sake, let's say that clean speed was 225 knots. Well, obviously we can't fly at 225 knots because the max speed restriction was 210. So instead of flying at 210 knots, what we do is we fly to the next characteristic speed down, which was the F speed. The F speed was 197 knots. So that's what we pre-selected. So we flew with flaps 1 out, 1 plus F, which is the slats and the flaps. We flew at config 1 plus F all the way through these two waypoints just here, targeting a speed of 197, which was F speed. After we passed this, we could then start to speed up. Now that was okay, but we had got another speed restriction here, which was NELAB. Well, green dot speed was, I think it was just above this, wasn't it? I think it was 222 knots. Now 222 knots again would bust this speed constraint. So we had two options. We could continue to fly at F speed, which was 197 knots, which is what we had pre-selected here. But that's okay, but we would then have had to fly this entire route with flaps 1 out and just holding it there at 197 knots. Well, that's extra drag and it also burns more fuel. So then I opted to do something which I've never done before, but it's perfectly acceptable and you're allowed to do it, and that was at 210 knots. The flaps in config 1, as you normally see on here, because you'll see the flaps config 1 plus F. The F is the flaps. The flaps at config 1 at 210 knots automatically retract. And the FlyByWire guys have coded this in, so it works, and that happens all the time. So what happened then, you would see sort of like the red line on the speed tape here. When you get to 210 knots, the flaps retract, so that red line jumps up to, I think it's 230 knots, which means that I could put in on the autopilot, the auto thrust, I could put in 220 knots here, leaving the aircraft still in config 1, knowing as soon as we accelerated and got to 210 knots that the flaps would automatically retract, leaving the slats out but allowing us still to fly at 220 knots without busting either any speed restrictions or passing VFE speed, the maximum flaps extension speed, because the flaps were going to disappear. And VFE for just config 1, no flaps, is 230 knots. So that all worked really, really nicely, and of course, as FlyByWire have coded that automatic flap retraction in at 210 knots. It was beautiful, and it was a great example of when you can use that to your advantage. Obviously we got rid of the flaps, meant we could accelerate a little bit more, and without the flaps out there's a little bit less drag, so we burnt a little bit less fuel as well. So that was just nicely demonstrated, and it was just pure luck tonight that I could actually demonstrate that, just because of the way this the speed restrictions on this in this SID worked. So hopefully that was explained in a way that wasn't too confusing. If you do have any questions though, we're now in the cruise for the next hour and a half, so plenty of time to ask any questions with that. Lander Lakes says you love you some learning. Dr. Magic, great explanation, cheers. I say it's probably easy to see when it's actually happening rather than me talking about it retrospectively, but hopefully that did help. Nubrix, have I tried the new Superb Brussels freeware? Still a work in process, but has interior modelling and everything. It's more than up to par with payware. No, I haven't, but I love Brussels Airport. Obviously nice and central in Europe, so in that case we may have to do a flight there pretty soon. Now I can see some TCAS traffic. Just be aware of that as we get closer to it. Wayne, good evening to you, sir, on this Friday evening. And can I also say as well to Michael Buck, thank you so much for your $4.99 for $4.99 donation super chat. thank you so much, Michael. I hope you've had a good flight with us this evening. That's very kind of you. And thank you for your support. Really, really generous. Thank you. Dr. Magic, what's the difference between open climb and managed climb? The only difference is that in managed climb, so we've got two options, haven't we? At the moment I'm in open climb, as you can see on the FMA just there. If I push that, it goes into climb. The only difference between the two is that in climb mode it would respect any altitude constraints, of which we haven't got any at the moment. We're at flight level 280, just passing. So there's absolutely no difference between climb and open climb at the moment. Open climb would just ignore constraints. Christian, you wonder how many pilots in reality would be picking about 2 knots that were missing to get up to clean speed and just pre-select 222 knots anyway and fly at config 0. It depends probably if they all if they care about where they're flying. A little bit misty, isn't it? So we've got traffic straight above us, but he's 7,000 feet above us, so that should be fine. We're only climbing at 1,100 feet per minute. Hey Wayne, good evening. This flight's overlapped with digital as you've just landed somewhere in the Caribbean. It's good to know you know exactly where you were, Wayne, at the time of landing. I do love a Friday evening stream. It's sort of like, what a way to end the week. Tim, how do I get the info bar at the top? That is a streaming overlay, so I actually can't see it myself here in the sim. You guys can see it. I can't. Flight level 300.
In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase a selection of hot beverages, together with drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated, and if we can be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
Do love seeing contrails now in the sim. I think the next thing they need to add is when the weather conditions are right, those contrails last much longer. I guess the only problem with that is it was going to add a lot of extra things for the simulator to sort of remember and things like that. Oh Wayne, it's good to know that you landed on islands and not in the ocean. Yeah, quite important, the difference between those. Sort of that. Flight level 315 just passed. Danny, do I think HD would blast through and fly to 220 knots clean speed? No. No, I don't. Now here comes ATC onto is it Marseille control 12465.
À la station, je ne comprends pas, vous êtes complètement coupé.
Marseille Control, good evening, Alpine 62 Kilo Delta, passing flight level 330, request flight level 370, direct to VAM2.
Alpine 62 Kilo Delta, bonsoir, continue climb flight level 370 and after VAM2, proceed direct to Vatia.
Clear flight level 370 and just confirm our direct to after VAM2 please. Alpine 62 Kilo Delta.
62 Kilo Delta after VAM2, Vatir, Victor Alpha Tango India Romeo.
After VAM2 proceed direct to Victor Alpha Tango India Romeo for Alpine 62 Kilo Delta. So continue on that climb, and then where are we off to after this? Victor Alpha Tango India Romeo, there we are. Tim, we are indeed in VATSIM, yeah. LG Lambs, after tonight, the next stream will most likely be Sunday evening. For our VFR flight over America, because we didn't do it last week, did we? We did a Halloween special. Devi, you treated yourself to Rex Global. Yeah, they really do improve things, don't they? Mark Richards, hello, thanks for coming on board with us this evening.
Donc descente au niveau 140 et on poursuit cap actuel pour l'instant.
Christian ATC is skipping me through half the flight. Well, that's fine.
3 and 92 cleared Viva 7 Romeo arrival.
Cleared Viva 7 Romeo arrival for Austrian Marine 2.
UTE 455 direct Viva.
Direct Viva.
So yeah, there we go. Next waypoint is 200 nautical miles away. Well, 195.
Merci, control, bonsoir, Iberia 624, passing flight level 320 on the climb. Iberia 624, bonsoir, continue climb flight level 390 after VAM2 direct to Vatir.
Bjork R, is it hard to talk to ATC? I guess it becomes easier the more you do it. And I grew up from sort of 8-9 years old listening to ATC, so it became kind of an ingrained second language, I suppose.
Je contacte Paris sur 2800 Air France 248. Merci à vous, bonne soirée.
Oh, Wayne, were you here right at the start of the stream tonight? Your faithful mutt hates the fireworks. Yeah, Captain George has been going nuts. Banker says thank you for the beautiful view. You're quite welcome. How are we doing? We're got 1,000 feet to go, but this looks lovely, doesn't it? Yeah, Wayne, so my first officer has not been handling them well. Paul, VATSIM does make it so much more realistic. Oh, once you've done it, I guarantee, Paul, you'll never fly without it again.
Continue climb up to flight level 280, top 84 uniform tango.
Christian says it's not harder than talking to your mother-in-law.
Clear the Viva 7 Bravo Lama 455.
So, getting close to our cruising altitude just now.
Control, bonsoir, top Swiss 364 Delta, flight level 1.
Top Swiss, not often I hear that on VATSIM.
Top Swiss 364 Delta, bonsoir, continue climb to flight level 260 initial.
Climb flight level 260, top Swiss 364 Delta.
Oh, that's not good.
Master control, switch 16 0, top of descent.
There was a bit of a
descent flight level 180 initially.
bit of a blur just then, wasn't there? I didn't like that. Not good at all when that happens. Okay, so Mac Alt Cruise, let's get TCAS to below.
Marseille Control, good evening, KJ 605, passing flight level 110 to flight level 170, inbound Amiro. KJ 605, bonsoir, climb flight level 380.
So I've just put SOCD on the navigation display. The reason I've done that is because when we get a beam SOCD, I'm going to do a fuel check. Obviously, going direct has cleared out all the waypoints for the next 200 miles or so, which means I won't be able to do a fuel check for a couple hundred miles. Well, I don't want to do that. So we can do that there. Let me just now go through the SD page, just check they're all okay. We'll get some en route weather as well.
7 Romeo arrival, descend flight level 170, Austrian 14 Go Lima.
3690, contact needs approach 134.475, over.
1500 kilograms of fuel being used, spot on. No fuel leak. Docs A, tips for anyone just starting out on VATSIM. Number 1, always have a pen. Number 2, start with IFR, because it's easier than VFR. Number 3, fly to airports that you are really familiar with. Unless the airport you're really familiar with is Gatwick. You don't want to start at busy airports.
Can you give me the better indicator that you can provide me?
4 foot and how do I read it? It's so small. What is it? What's so small? You can zoom it, of course, if it's a little bit too small for you. But I'm okay. I could read that. I was happy with that.
Sorry, 24255.
Copy that. Thank you.
Banker, which is the best seat to choose for the first-time flyers? The back. Sit at the back. When was the last time you heard of an aircraft reversing into a mountain? Joe, why do you set TCAS to below only in the cruise phase? You set it to below once you've reached your cruising altitude. Because your next phase of flight, you're going to be on the descent and you're not bothered about anything above you.
Face 84 Uniform Tango, you now live in my space, Maritime Unicorn 128, bye-bye.
Dr. Magic, your cat seems rather chilled this evening. Our cat is in the house somewhere, but I have no idea where.
13, come on to Fly, walk 1036, thank you, good night.
Luxair 8257, direct Abdil.
Gatwick, 8257.
So whilst I'm just waiting to go ahead and do that fuel check in around 20 miles or so, let me just have a quick look and see which airports we're going to check out for our weather, en route weathers. So if we go to our McDo menu, go to the ATSU page. So I'm going to put Ibiza in there right at the top. We're not bothered about Milan anymore. That's gone.
Olympic 847, contact
so have a look at Nice.
4.2, over.
Contact Roma 124.120, Olympic 847, thank you.
And we'll also have a look at Barcelona. We'll keep Barcelona in there, and we'll keep Valencia in there, because that is one of our alternates this evening. Fun fireworks set your PTSD off. You hate this time of year. I know so many people do, don't they? So many people hate bonfire now. I like it. I don't mind it as long as it's one of those sort of like organised events. They're yeah, they're good. They're all right. But anything else, don't really need it. And if you're going to have fireworks, then again, I don't mind fireworks. But you don't need them to sound like World War III. Sounds like the Blitz on our streets sometimes. LG Lambs, is it possible to hear the autopilot disconnect from about row 8 when landing? You believe you heard the famous sound of an autopilot disconnecting when landing in Manchester a couple of weeks ago. Maybe it's just ingrained in your LG Lambs. You've been in the simulator that much, you've been watching the streams that much, you just know that in good weather it's going to disconnect at about 1,000 feet, and maybe you just imagined it. I have no idea. I mean, it is quite a piercing alarm. I mean, that's what it's designed to do, so maybe you did hear it. Maybe you did. Dan, has anyone ever told me that I sound almost exactly like the narrator for Airline UK that used to air back in 2001 on ITV? No, no one's ever told me that. Oh, Wayne, you've been sexist.
134.475 for Austrian 14 Lima.
Austrian 145, descent flight level 180.
Christian, if we have to go to an alternate, you at least want to be transported to another island. You want Palma. No, I specifically ignored Palma because, well, the weather there's
Austrian 145, descent flight level 180.
I don't know we're landing in a 40-knot crosswind. I mean, look at the weather here at Ibiza at the moment. So wind's alright. Wind's 350 at 6. Few clouds, 3,000 feet, scattered 4,200 feet, broken 4,900 feet. So there's a bit of cloud as we're coming down, and temporarily visibility is 4,000 meters, thunderstorms and rain.
Proceed directly Darbo, HSX 05.
Right, speaking of fuel checks, we've just missed Socti, haven't we? Let's just check what we should have had at Socti. So we should have had about 5.1 tons of fuel. What have we got? Oh, we got 5.2. We're good. That's fine.
GT455, descent flight level 190.
BQ77, the version I use is the experimental version.
Flight level 180 initially. Negative was for Austrian 992.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Danny, the 320 has 7 flight control computers that process the pilot, autopilot, etc. But the 340 has 5 of them. Well, they're being reduced on the A320 as well. Maybe they're just becoming more efficient.
Partida control, Stereo 005, climb 360.
Attention, correct, please second.
Jason T, you think the altitude to deactivate the autopilot on approach varies by carrier? It varies by pilot. Pilots can do what they want. The pilot flying is ultimately in control.
Stereo 005, squawk 5606.
5660 for Stereo 005.
So is that Nice down there? Just having a quick look at our map today. Do we end up flying over Nice? We're close by. It's Marseille, more so than Nice. Nice might be visible out of the left-hand window.
GT455, contact Nice approach 134.475, over.
Nice approach 134.675. Thank you, bye-bye, GT455.
I think there's an airfield down there, but
134.475.
that looks like an old air base, doesn't it?
Thank you, bye-bye, GT455.
Jason, I'm still using the custom config file settings after the recent update. The only thing that I've got turned differently in the config files, Jason, are as the film grain. I've turned film grain off, but that's that.
gentlemen from the cockpit, just to let you know, we've now reached our cruising flight level. We were slightly delayed in taking off, so we are running a little bit behind schedule, but we'll do our best to catch up and see if we can get you to your destination on time as planned. As the cabin crew make their way around the aircraft, please make sure the aisles are clear of any items, and I invite you to please sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Thank you.
In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase from our selection of fresh food available today. Full details can be found in your in-flight brochure. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated, and if we can be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
Austrian 992 contact Nice approach 134.475 Alpha.
Nice approach on 134.475 for Austrian 992. Have a good one.
Thank you. Hysteria 005, you're identified. Proceed direct to Picos.
Direct to Picos, Hysteria 005.
Control, good evening, Xperia 004, set level 320, inbound eastward.
Xperia 004, bonsoir, squawk 5667.
5667 for Xperia 004.
Oscar 029, good evening, we flew flight level 360.
Top Sky 029, bonsoir, descent flight level 350.
Descent 350, Top Sky 029.
Corsica 26, Lima Papa, direct Colomb. Corsica 26, Lima Papa, on procède direct Colomb.
Can you say again, please?
Top Sky 029, descent flight level 350.
Descent 350, 029.
Xperia 004, you know identified, proceed direct to Picos.
Direct to Picos, Xperia 004.
Fair 8257, you're cleared Abdil 7 Romeo arrival.
Abdil 7 Romeo arrival, 257. Let's say 257, do you know what one-ways are used in Nice?
Looks like 257 runway will be assigned by the approach, but you can expect one of the 04 left, I guess, for the R&B Alpha.
Okay, thank you very much. Just for situational one, let's say 257.
Marseille Control, bonsoir, Esperial 150, flight level 320, inbound Easter.
Area 150, bonsoir, squawk 567.
Okay, yes, so I'm just checking the arrival just there.
5, 6, 7, 3.
That matches exactly what we've got with regards to the start, and we're going to work out a top of descent in a moment. Apologies, I was just comforting my first officer then, bless him. So yeah, that all looks good, and we're just going through a bit of information here. Now, let me go ahead and see if any ATIS is actually available for Ibiza. Send that off. Digital, good evening. Got me on in the background while you work on some other projects. Good to see you. Yeah, sorry, I did mute the I did mute my mic. I quickly had to go and see First Officer George. Bless him. Make sure he's okay, and more importantly, that he doesn't need the toilet. Right, so 8 is not currently available. Let's just have a quick look and see what the latest winds are doing. Send that off. So I am currently planning a runway 6 arrival, but we'll see. Christian, you'll donate $5 if you try the print button. Can I try it once we've landed?
Descent to flight level 180, flight 992.
Okay, latest weather information. 320 at 10. Right, in that case, I have a feeling that our approach is going to have changed. So we're now going to be coming in on the other runway. So that's going to be runway 24.
Captain 992, contact NIS approach 134.475.
Which is going to be pulse for November, I believe.
992.
Let's find that chart. Okay, so a little bit of a rerouting there. We could potentially just go straight direct from Mallorca to maybe Ibiza 730. That will cut out all of this doglegging. Get rid of the charts that we don't need. We'll also get the ground charts as well.
8257, when ready, sorry, descent flight level 140.
Down to flight level 140,
Okay, just having a quick check as well at the works at the airport. Not that I would imagine that's going to be simulated, but there we go.
Oh no, just went offline, so you come to the 8, bye-bye.
Alright, let's have a look at changing the arrival then in the flight plan. So it's now going to be ILS 24 Zulu and the Pulse 4 November arrival. And that is via Gizlu. See how that looks. There it is. So we'll be on the ground in around 50 minutes or so. Let's work out where the top of the descent's coming in then, shall we? So, if we don't have to concern ourselves with flying the full procedure, which traffic's not going to be that busy, my plan is to go direct from Mallorca to Indy Bravo 730, and I want to be 3,000 feet at this point. We also want a bit of time to slow down as well, so let's just do some quick maths. What are we at? 370, aren't we? Yeah, so we're at 370. So if we start our descent around about 110 miles from Indy Bravo 730, actually slowing down time, let's call it 115 miles. So let's just go to the fixes page, pop that in there, Indy Bravo 730. And put a radius of 115 miles around that. And there's our top of descent coming up in around about 110 miles time.
Ok, 2802, a priori 30 droite, 30 gauche approuvé, il n'y a pas de trafic à vous signaler pour le moment, le QNH 1023, rappelez Ginac, 30 droite, 30 gauche à discrétion.
Land Alex, you've been pushing your luck so far with pressing the print button. Have you been getting away with it as well? Is it working nicely for you? Excellent stuff. Dave, if I get a spare moment, do you think I could make a short video about how you map your cameras to the TCA buttons? Impressed with how quickly you can switch between the cameras. I actually use the hat switch. Yeah, so hat switch left, hat switch right, and that's behind us. And straight in front is peering over the top of the glare shield there.
Alpine 62 Kilo Delta, 11 airspace, monitor Unicom 122, bye-bye.
Over to Unicom, thanks for the service this evening, Alpine 62 Kilo Delta, good night.
Thank you.
Nicholas Reese, you've just departed from Frankfurt. There was so much traffic online, it felt like the real thing. 4 aprons, 5 towers and lots of traffic. Excellent. Frankfurt's always busy, isn't it? Really busy airport on the VATSIM network. So we're going to start talking about our arrival, and we'll do a quick brief as well, looking at how we're going to plan that and execute it. That looks nice, doesn't it? So let's get all the tools at our disposal that we have. We can use the Ibiza VOR, which is IBA. I think that's been decommissioned actually shortly. I'm sure it still works here in the simulator though. So India Bravo Alpha. Check that 117.8. That's the correct one. Dave says, good idea about using the hat switches, you never use it. Thank you. Yeah, it just works. It frees up all the other buttons then, doesn't it, for other things that I completely forget what I've mapped to. So, but yeah, it's there. Ty Clark, glad you could finally catch us live. Thanks for all the information you offer. Oh, you're very welcome, Ty. I hope you're enjoying the live flight with us this evening, and obviously seeing us carry it out all in real time. Wayne, if people from Hamburg are called hamburgers, what do they call people from Frankfurt? Asking for Christian. Surely they call them sausages. Christian, the way the Z melted on your tongue, am I sure I'm not Spanish? I wouldn't mind going there. Seems like so long since I had an abroad holiday. Okay, so here's our plan then. On leaving the Mallorca VOR, we are going to be on our descent by this point, and we're going to aim to be at 3,000 feet by Indy Bravo 730. And we're just checking, where's Gislu on here? Gislu, yeah, 3,000 feet. We're going to hold 3,000 feet. We should get the glide slope in there as well. Platform altitude is 2,000 feet as we're coming in. Minimum safe altitude is 2,800 feet. I'm going to keep an eye on that weather as well before I work out what we're doing now. The runway visual range at the moment is above 600 meters, so we're legally allowed to start that approach. Some rain showers and thunderstorms though to be aware of. Decision altitude is 279, so let's hope that doesn't get in the way. Transition altitude as well for our arrival today is where are you? 6,000 feet. So we're going to be landing on runway 24, and it is the POS for November, Polynesia for November arrival. Check that ILS frequency 109.5, same as Manchester's, and the elevation is 19. Missed approach. Let's have a quick look. Okay, climb out and runway heading to 800 feet, then a left turn, not before half a mile from the India Bravo Alpha, max 185 knots, to intercept and follow the 182 radial from Ibiza to 7 miles, then turn left onto a 9-mile DMA arc. Right, okay, so let's put all that information in onto our flight plan. Nicholas, hello, you're on your way to Munich. Hope you've got some ATC if you are on VATSIM. Thick Roasty 5, you were surprised to catch me. Why? I'm always here. Okay, so we want IBA. I want to program in as a left turn to intercept and follow the 182 radial till 7 miles. So that's 182. And then at 7 miles, turn left on the 9-mile DME arc. So let's put a 9-mile radius around there. And now we should be able to visualize that. And we also want another radial of 140 on there as well. I'll go ahead and brief this in a bit more detail once I've just got all this in.
Hello, 075, good evening, flight level 340, squawk 4265, hello to 075.
075, bonsoir, proceed direct to Lato.
Okay, so now we've got all that listed. What we're going to do, if we have to go missed, is we climb out on runway heading 800 feet and a left turn, not before half a mile from IBA, which is just here. We make a left turn at a max speed of 185 knots to intercept and follow the 182 radial outbound to 7 miles. We then turn left on the 9-mile DME arc to cross the 152 radial at or below 2,500 feet. Then we make a right turn to intercept and follow the 140 radial, climbing to 3,000 feet. So, missed approach altitude, we're going to set to 2,500. Now that fixes page is there and working, you can really visualise what it is you're going to do until the go-around track is all implemented properly. So that's nice to see.
Sierra Echo Papa 504, passing to track level 3104350.
Okay, says, while the minimums are higher on the ILX X-ray chart, why is that? Because of different go-around procedure? Very possibly. Yeah, very possibly.
Serie control, Serie 005, ready for descent.
Area 005, descend to flight level 170 inches.
170, Area 005.
And there's going to be that nasty cloud layer in a little while that we're going to start descending through as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, take full advantage of your tax-free allowances today and make some amazing savings with our boutique range. In your in-flight brochure, you'll find details of our award-winning selection of gifts, most with massive discounts, some of which are exclusive to you as an Easyjet customer. Make the most of your opportunity to shop and save from the comfort of your seat. If you'd like to see any products, have any questions, or would like to make great savings, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
Robert, you've just been around the Mac loop a few times, but not in the A320. Good. glad to hear it.
Sky 2802, confirmé 30 droite. Il n'y a pas de souci, 2802.
Razzle Music, good evening. It's been a while. Managed Descent was working for you into Las Vegas the other day. No, it wasn't. What it did do was it respected the constraints, didn't it? Which it will do, and it has done since the simulator first came out. But that's not the same as Managed Descent. Sadly. Quick fuel check then, as we pass Solid. Really? That's the name? Solid, close. Should have around 4.1 tons. Oh wow. Look at that. Bang on. Do love a Friday night stream, nice and chilled out, and with ATC as well, really nice. Now sadly I don't think we've got ATC coming into Palma. We're not actually on ATC at the moment, we're actually on Unicom, but I'm just listening into Marseille Control, just for the fun of it. Another welcome as well to DC Gert, who became a member a little while ago in the stream. Thank you so much for that. And to Michael Buck as well for his donation earlier on. Hope you both got something exciting happening this weekend. We're about 20 miles now from our top of descent. So we're going to just get the latest weather. And then we'll pop that into the perf page. So let's see what we're going to have to contend with. Wind is 330 at 8 and varying, so expect a crosswind from the right as we're coming in. Vicinity thunderstorms, yeah, it could be a bit bumpy. QNH is 1020. Temperature 13. Temporarily 4,000 meters. Thunderstorms and raining.
Lufthansa 53 Whiskey, bonsoir, clear the Milan 5 November arrival, descent flight level 15.
I think mostly was since when do I stream this late? I usually do streams in the evening, more so than the daytime these days.
Lufthansa 52 Whiskey, Milan 5 November arrival.
So the QNH is 1020. Temperature 13. And the wind is 33088. Our transition altitude is 6,000 feet. And that Barrow decision altitude is 279. Dark Fury, welcome to training captain level membership. Dark, thank you so much for your support. Not just of the channel, but also the tech support. Fantastic, Dark. Thank you so much for that. Really do appreciate everything you do for us, mate. And the fact you're local as well just means you get extra gold stars anyway. Right, we're nearly about to begin our top of descent.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck once again, you will be delighted to hear that we will shortly be starting our descent into our destination, at which point the cabin crew will start preparing for our arrival. If you could please make sure that all the aisles are clear, the cabin crew are able to make their way around the aircraft without any luggage in the aisles, that would be most appreciated. A reminder for our Easyjet environmental members that free drinks are still available from the cabin crew until the seatbelt signs are turned on. Please note, however, that the toilets will shortly go out of use. Thank you.
Okay, so we are going to be heading down to 3,000 feet, but because of the terrain over the Mallorca VOR, I'm going no lower than 5,000 feet for now. So we're going to say, in fact, we might as well go down to the transition altitude, which is 6,000 feet. So let's go. Thrust idle, open descent, 060 blue. Down we go.
Can you say again, please? Descent 300, top sky 029.
And let's see if the METAR is as bad in the simulator as it is in the real world. Renato! Hello Renato, my friend. How's the week treated you? Hope you've had a good one and that you've got something good lined up for the weekend. My cat's on fire. Good evening to you as well. Random question. If you don't have Navigraph, how do you find the VIA in a star? If you don't have Navigraph, the best thing I can suggest is you keep testing them out and having a look at the route that's shown on the navigation display to see if... and just pick one that looks sensible. Mitch, you were in Ibiza last Saturday. Excellent. You lucky, lucky person. Okay, we've now picked up the Ibiza VOR, which is 126 miles away. We can use that for our descent planning as well. Nick T asks, where's HD? I don't know. Is Bake Off on? If it is, I know where it'll be. Hope you've enjoyed the flight and stream so far today, guys. If you had, please do remember to hit that like button. If you are new to the channel, of course, you can hit subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notifications bell so you don't miss any future streams and videos.
Unicorn 122.8, top sky 029. Thank you, good night, bye.
So just past flight level 310. Let's go ahead and set local pressure as well on here, which is 1020. We're all set with what we're doing. We've I'll just very quickly go over the arrival brief again in case any of you may have missed that. So from Mallorca, we're then going to go direct to Ibiza 730, where we're going to be 3,000 feet by the time we get there. That's going to give us time as well to slow down. I want to be green dots by the time I get to 730. We'll go flaps 1, then leaving 730, and then at Gizlu, that gives us time to capture the glide slope and get flaps 2 in. Trooper 37, good evening from a stormy Alicante. Good evening and I hope you're well. Trooper 37, well, we're on our way to Ibiza, where I believe there's also a little bit of storm. We've got thunderstorms in the vicinity as well, so we're going to find that interesting as to what that's depicted like here in the sim. So there you can see Mallorca. Lepa is just there. And we're about 110 miles away from the airport at the moment. Nicely below the profile, which is good. And we're now going to start to head through that cloud layer. SAT is minus 45, so anti-ice not required at the moment, but it's certainly going to be required as we come on down here. Alexander, good evening. Thanks for coming on board with us tonight. Daniel, do I use live weather in the streams? Yes, this is live weather. It's not live time, but it is still live weather. Mitch, have I watched Benidorm? You've been where it was filmed. You poor guy. Yes, I have. Great comedy. Although I thought it went on a bit too long, series-wise. I think the first 4 or 5 series were great, but then it just... I don't know, it didn't have the same appeal, sadly. Now, TCAS is just bimmed up. What's happening here? No, that should be okay. Looks good though, that, doesn't it? Aviators, please don't spam the chat. Down into the breach. I think I can just see the island of Mallorca poking through the clouds just there, look. Tom, am I planning on getting a Velocity 1 yoke? Probably not, considering I fly the Airbus. Digital, yes, great sun effects on the clouds. Looks awesome, doesn't it? Ooh, who's that? Barcelona controls online. Okay, what frequency we got? 13235. don't change my approach. Just check that frequency is correct. 13235. Barcelona Control, good evening, Alpine 62 Kilo Delta, passing flight level 175, inbound, Mike Juliet Victor.
Alpine 62 Kilo Delta, Barcelona, reset your transponder and squawk 6204.
Squawk 6204 for Alpine 62 Kilo Delta, and we're currently on the pulse for November arrival for runway 24.
Ibiza should be landing on runway 24, that's correct.
Oh, good.
Barcelona Control, today, Compass 6 Mach Fox, 3000 feet.
Approach checklist minimums 279 set, engine mode selector normal, and electronic flight bag is stowed.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. If you could please return to your seat.
Connor 6 Mike Foxtrot, Barcelona.
If you were traveling with an
You are identified. Continue. You're clear. Let's approach runway 06 left. All established.
Target data approach 06 left 6 Mach Foxtrot, and I will report on the
Thank you.
Alpine 62 Kilo Delta, you are identified in Poyensa 4 November, arrival runway 24. Descend for level, descend to 6,000 feet, QNH 1020.
Cleared on the pulse for November arrival runway 24, descend altitude 6,000 feet, and QNH is 1020 for Alpine 62 Kilo Delta. Okay, well that's good. That's exactly what we were doing anyway. We've just slowed down the rate of descent because we're nicely below the profile. Which is good considering ATC are online, because they're probably going to give us that shortcut in that we were going to go for anyway. So we're not going to have any issues with that.
Turkish 029.
And there's Mallorca beneath us.
Top Sky 029. Sky 029, say again please.
What's your call sign, sir?
Top Sky 029.
029er, I'm not copying the call sign, I'm sorry. Can you type me your call sign so I know what it is? Your squawk is 6215.
Yes, squawk 6215, Top Sky 029.
So given that of course ATC is online, we can't do what we originally briefed, which was in a couple of minutes following the Mike Juliet Victor VOR. We were going to go direct to that waypoint, Ibiza 730, but I would imagine he's going to vector us in anyway, so...
Good evening, Barcelona Centre, Easy 230 Delta, passing flight level 270.
TCAS, he's 9,000 feet below us, or 10,000 feet below us, again no issues.
Clear, Poyensa 4 Victor. Clear, Poyensa 4 November, runway 24. Descend to flight level 80.
Flight level 80 cleared to 4 November.
So far, we have managed to avoid the cloud layer.
Easy 230 Delta.
Ibiza 624, identify, clear, Poyensa 4 November, runway 24, descend for level 80.
Poyensa 4 November, runway 24, descend for level 80, Ibiza 624.
The reason we got down so quickly as well is because I forgot to set 270 knots on the descent, so it got us down quicker than I would have planned, but it's not a problem. We're now just gently now on our way in, 250 knots.
130.
In fact, we can pull that and hold 250 knots if we wish.
Clear ILS to Barcelona, runway 20, Bispa 4 November, Top Sky 029.
Bispa 4 November for runway 02.
Tom the thrust levers that I'm using are the Thrustmaster Airbus thrust levers and add-on pack.
Ryanair 596, vientos 330 grados, 7 nudos, pista 02 autorizado a aterrizar.
Daniel, you're off to Rome tomorrow from Gatwick. Oh, enjoy the flight.
Golf Kilo, flight level 290 for 380.
I'm not jealous at all.
Top Swiss 82 Golf Kilo, Barcelona.
So we're about 10,000 feet below the profile at the minute, which is why I've really slowed down the rate of descent. We're descending 700 feet per minute at the moment, which is fine.
Only have a little bit more in my airspace, so I'm going to let you go to the Unicom, so you'll enjoy your flight.
So we're about 60 miles away at the moment.
Thanks, have a great evening.
So we've just basically got ourselves prepared, nice and steady, nice and early.
Condor 1521, cleared in Burgo
Our flight time was tipped to be 1 hour 37 minutes. We've been flying 1 hour 14, I think it is so far. Yeah, 1 hour 14. So 60 miles away. We should be on time. Christian, is that a thunderstorm cloud ahead? It's certainly a towering cumulus, isn't it? Shame the weather radar doesn't work.
Barcelona Center, good evening, Edelweiss 267 heavy on holding short runway 06 ready for departure.
Otherwise 267 clear to Zurich, Menorca 5 Echo runway, actually you're on the other side. Semi, you want to depart runway 06, is that correct?
Affirmative, runway 06, Edelweiss 267.
So we're coming up at 10,000 feet. Let's get those lights on, and that's done.
Condor 6 Mike Foster, runway 6 left, clear to land. The wind 040 degrees, 14 knots.
Clear to land 0 left, 6 Mike Foster.
Edelweiss 267, clear to Zurich. Menorca 5 Foxtrot, runway 06, this squawk 6271.
Air 737 is thundering like crazy in Alicante. I'm glad we're not landing there then. Let's get that anti-ice on.
Turkey 029, descent flight level 90.
Descent 90, top schedule liner.
Squawk 6201 for it.
Squawk 6271.
6271.
You can now assist the cabin crew by tidying up your tray table and handing them any litter as they come around.
Otherwise 267, runway 3 back raise, runway 06. The wind 330 degrees, 8 knots, clear for takeoff.
Please note that the
takeoff runway 06.
are now out of use. If you wish to become a Easyjet SIM plan and chat member, please contact the member of your cabin crew. We'll be happy to
So let's see. I'm expecting a sort of shortcut any second now from ATC. There's nothing ahead of us.
Ready for uniform, Sierra, Puerta.
Let's just hope it doesn't forget about us. Please don't make us fly the full procedure. It's nowhere near busy enough to require us to do that.
Sierra, al número le están 121.
No breaks, yeah, I agree. I'd love to see a good Milan, a good Rome, and a good Lisbon. Belfast would be good as well. In fact, there's a freeware mod for Belfast, which isn't bad at all. Still managing to avoid the clouds at the minute, aren't we? Plenty of them about, but...
Top 09, request continue descent.
The fact that I can see the waves down below suggests that it may be a tad windy down there as well. Microsoft Flight Simulator does a great job of depicting those. Right, I'm now 2,000 feet below the profile. So I'm now going to increase my rate of descent again. We'll stay below a little bit. Ground speed is 298, so we're not going to go exactly on a 3-degree descent path of 1,500 feet. We'll go a little less, 1,300 feet per minute. Jonathan, is it appropriate to ask ATC if you can bypass the whole procedure? Usually, they wouldn't make you fly the full procedure. I'm quite surprised so far that he's not given me a direct just yet.
North, that should be a link, and Foxtrot and stand number 22.
But he gave us the star, and at the moment we're just flying it. So welcome to everyone that has just come on board.
EC 1917 Barcelona.
We are about 15 minutes from landing.
Continue the same flight level 100.
Roger, good evening. Continue to send flight 100 EZ 1917.
EC 1917, clear Valencia 3 Rima, ILS 10, ILS Zulu 10.
And there's Alt Star coming in, 6,000 feet.
Otherwise 267 radar contact passing 4,700 feet.
30 miles out. In fact, I'm not going to slow down just yet. I'm going to see what it is he wants us to do. 30 miles out, I've still got about 4,000 feet to play with.
84 kilo at Power Mustang 118, requesting Alpha Glen for Frankfurt.
But if he's making us fly the full procedure, we've got a lot of track miles left to run.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will shortly be landing. Please ensure your cabin bag is safely stowed with your laptop inside. Your tray table must be stowed, armrest down, and window blind open. You now need to be seated with your seatbelt fastened.
Kind of interested to see what he does with us now.
Please help us by handing in any rubbish, newspapers, or magazines that you do not want to take with you. The toilets are no longer in service.
Barcelona clear to Frankfurt Airport. Nero 6 Bravo, runway 6 right, squawk 6261.
Clear to Frankfurt as filed, Merrill 6 Bravo departure, runway 06 right, squawk 6261, Lufthansa 84 kilo.
What do you reckon?
Lufthansa 84 kilo,
Place your bets now. Are we going to have to fly the full procedure?
Barcelona, control Ryanair 4007 with you, flight level 78 for 7,000.
Alpine 62 kilo, descend 5,000 feet, QNH 1020.
Descend 5,000 feet, 1020 QNH Alpine, 62 kilo Delta.
Iberia 624, descend to 5,000
Oh, but descend 5,000 blue?
QNH 1020. Descend 5,000 feet, QNH 1020, Iberia 624. Ryanair 4007, you call me?
Okay, so what I'm going to do then,
With you, flight level
we're now just past Nellis, coming around here. I'm going to go green dot after leaving 726, but I'm going to have to ask him if there's any speed restrictions and whether we can slow down or not.
Descend to 5,500 feet, and you are clear for the approach.
Cleared for the approach on X-ray 10 arrival and descend to 5,500. Ryanair 4007.
Alpine 62 kilo Delta, turn right heading 330 Vectors Island.
Right, heading 330, expect vectors for the ILS, Alpine 62 Kilo Delta.
Otherwise 267, no climb restrictions. Climb for level 380. EC230 Sierra Delta, descend 5,000 feet, QNH 1020.
5,000 feet, 1020, did you reach Sierra Delta?
Dusky 029, descend 6,000 feet,
Glide
QNH
slope is just there.
1022.
QNH 1022, descent 6,000 feet, top sky 029.
Alpine 62 Kilo Delta, any speed restrictions? Let's start configuring. Flaps 1.
Alpine 62 Kilo Delta, no speed restrictions for you.
Roger, 62 Kilo Delta.
Alpine 62 Kilo Delta, descend 2,000 feet.
Descend 2,000 feet, Alpine 62 Kilo Delta. Want to be careful I don't have to capture that glide slope from above if I can help it.
267, heavy request for the climb.
Otherwise 267, climb for level 380.
Level 3 085, 67.
Get some spoilers out. I want to get down, stay beneath that glide slope, slow down, get flaps 2 out.
Alpine 62 Kilo Delta, turn left heading 270 degrees, final vector, clear ILS approach runway 24.
Left turn 270, clear ILS for runway 24 for Alpine 62 Kilo Delta.
Ibiza 624, turn right heading 320 degrees, vectors ILS.
Turn right heading 320, Ibiza 624.
So I'm going to set speed 180 knots, slow us down, arm the approach, alt glide slope, lock blue, cat 3 dual autopilot 1 and 2.
Kilo at Palm,
Radio altimeter alive.
Sounds 84 Kilo, push, start off is approved.
Start off is 84 Kilo.
Top sky 029 at 6,000 feet.
Iberia 624, descend 2,000 feet.
Descend 2,000 feet, Iberia 624.
Look at that wind.
Dusky 029,
Alt lock star.
3,000 feet.
Descent 3,000 feet, top sky 029.
Ryanair 4007, you didn't fly the approach, the ILS Zulu procedure.
Missed approach would be flaps
right
1,
240
if we had to do it.
Okay, turn right 240 degrees, Ryanair 4007.
EC 1917, descend 6,000 feet, QNH 1021.
Descend 6,000, QNH 1021 for EV.
Flaps 2, speed checked, flaps 2.
Alpine 62 Kilo Delta, the winds 330 degrees, 8 knots, runway 24, clear land.
Good land, runway 24, Alpine 62 Kilo Delta.
EC23 Sierra Delta, turn right heading 320 degrees, vectors ILS.
Right heading 320, vectors ILS, please. 230 Delta.
Iberia 624, turn left heading 270 degrees, clear ILS approach runway 24.
Look at HD, you can't even hear me and I've still not activated the approach phase. He's got the volume turned down. Someone just say thanks to him for me, because he can't hear me. 5 miles. Let's slow down. Landing gear down. Flaps 3. Flaps full.
Delta 029, sped vectors ILS, fly heading 190 degrees.
Landing
Heading
checklist.
190 on top schedule final.
Corner 1521 requesting pushback.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing.
1521.
Cabin secured for landing. Auto thrust speed. Go around altitude 2,500 feet. Set. ECAM landing nobly.
Kilo, requesting taxi.
Lufthansa A4 Kilo, taxi Foxtrot, link north to the holding point, Hotel 224 right.
1,000.
1,000 feet.
Taxi Foxtrot, link north, Hotel 2. Say again, Lufthansa A4 Kilo.
I'm sorry, I got confused. Taxi Foxtrot, link south.
Autopilot disconnected. I have control. Still watching that wind, which I'm expecting to spin around from the right.
South for holding point 06 right, A4 Kilo.
That is a nice tailwind at the moment.
500.
Tusky 029, return right, heading 280 degrees.
Heading 280 degrees, Tusky 029.
300. Minimum
Continue.
200. $100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
And spoilers deployed. Reverse green. Decel.
Easy 230 Delta, fly heading 270 degrees. Final vectors, clouds approach runway 24.
270 degrees for the RS-24, Easy 230 Delta.
Good night, sir. Here's Air Algerie 2302, flying 57320 with you.
Algeria 2302, Barcelona, good evening, identify.
Safety-related duties.
Change your flight level to on flight level, sir. 310 or 330.
Has been switched off. Portable electronic devices for messaging, calls or internet access may now be used.
Algeria 2302, climb for level 330.
Belongings with you, checking in the seat pocket, underneath the seat, and in the overhead lockers. Do take care when opening the lockers in case anything falls out. Smoking is not permitted until you reach a designated smoking area. On behalf of the captain and the crew, it has been our pleasure looking after you today. Our ground crew will help you complete your Easyjet journey. For the latest news, promotions, flight and destination information,
you still outside the airspace, I'll call you back.
Page, Twitter or Easyjet app.
Tusky 029, maintain 2000. I don't know why you're descending. You were instructed 3000. Maintain 2.
Just wait for ATC to calm down for a moment, and then
Maintain
we'll
2000 feet, Tusky 029.
request somewhere to park.
Tusky 029 and turn right, heading 360 degrees. Clear the LS approach runway 02.
Clear ILS runway 02, turn right, heading... can you say again heading, please?
Heading 360.
360 heading, Tusky 029.
Alpine 62 Kilo Delta, vacated runway 24.
Not runway 24, clear land. Yes, runway 24, the area 624. Alpine 62 Kilo Delta, stand 26, waiting for you, nice and clean. Taxi to the stand.
Stand 26, Alpine 62 Kilo Delta.
Corner 1521 requesting taxi and we are able for Sierra 3.
Say again?
Corner 1521 requesting taxi and we are able for Sierra 3 departure.
Corner 1521, no problem. Taxi to the holding point Sierra 3 via Victor 2 Golf. Link south.
Taxiing to holding point Sierra 3 via Victor 2 Golf, link and south. Corner 1521.
Great scenery again at this airport.
EC 1917, clear the ILS approach Zulu, runway 10.
Roger, clear for the ILS approach 1 Zulu. 100.
Eurowings 197, did you call me?
Yeah, I just wanted to know that I'm with you. Okay.
Eurowings 197, Barcelona identified. You're clear. Expect the Lotus 1 Romeo arrival. ILS runway 06 left. Call for descent.
Expecting Lotus 1 Romeo arrival on 06 left, and I will call focus 100.
Aeropuerto di Ibiza. There we go. Right, let's get that parking brake on. Cut engines 1 and 2. Seatbelt signs off. Beacon signs coming off as well. Job done. External power is available. Let's get that connected up. Keep APU bleed on while passengers are online. Fuel pumps are coming off. Don't need those.
EC 230 Delta, wind 350 degrees, flight nav, runway 24, clear land.
And everything is good. Let's just get down to here and set 2000
624, taxi to
on the standby.
Number 29er.
And welcome to Ibiza, guys. The weather was nowhere near as bad as we had potentially planned for it to be. So that was good. Nice landing at the end. HD catching the approach phase hadn't been armed, which was quite impressive, considering he wasn't even listening. So yeah, that was pretty neat. Have we not got any stairs available? Have we got ground crew? We've got ground crew. We've just not got any stairs, and there's no jetway here, which is a shame. But never mind.
029, you missed the localizer.
Oh, guys, welcome to Ibiza. What a great flight. What a great way to end a stream on a Friday evening. Really did enjoy that. And the fireworks as well, it seems, slowly petered out as the evening went on. And the moment I say that, one goes off and poor Captain George goes nuts again. That GPU doesn't appear to be in the correct place, but never mind. Oh, thanks so much, guys, for your company this evening. As I say, I do love a Friday night flight, and some of the graphics and the skies this evening have been wonderful. Please do hit like on the stream as you exit this evening. Means a great deal to the channel, and really does help the YouTube algorithms and statistics, all those sort of things. So please do give the video a like. Really do appreciate that. To those of you that have donated and contributed to the stream this evening during the flight, thank you so much for that, and to channel members as well, the Easyjet Sim Pilot channel members, thank you so much for your continued support. Again, that is very, very much appreciated. Very kind of all of you guys. I look forward to chatting with you over the weekend as well on the Discord server, as per usual, and hopefully Sunday night we shall be back continuing our I-95 flight, which we've had a couple of weeks off from, because obviously we did the Halloween special last week. No stream tomorrow, as well as we carry on with normal weekend woes and family life. But yes, as I say, hopefully hope to be back on Sunday evening. Thanks so much, everyone. I look forward to seeing you all again very, very soon. Good night, all.